In like 2 minutes, recap for me your entrepreneurial journey from college dropout to working on my sales team to then getting fired, starting your own thing, and you built, dude, what did you guys do? Like 60 to 100 grand a month?
I think our best month was 120. So throughout this entire process of starting entrepreneurship, going on self-development, it was quite a lonely process, and I didn't have anyone I can go to. Not even my own family could really understand like what path I was going down. So because of that, I felt very isolated.
For those of you guys watching today, I'm bringing in a very special guest, one of my first sales reps that I've ever trained and worked with, Mr. Derick. And I want to just kick it off, getting straight into the heat of it, right? You were starting to kind of go back around on your values, right? You went back on your purpose and your mission. Talk to me about who you were spending time with and how that impacted your decisions as a man and what you've learned through that process.
Right. So throughout this entire process of starting entrepreneurship, going on self-development, it was quite a lonely process, and I didn't have anyone I can go to. Not even my own family could really understand like what path I was going down. So because of that, I felt very isolated. And on the team, at Kino, there were a lot of different members I was close with, but this one person in particular, I won't name them. We bonded a lot, right? Like they would always call me, they would always message me, and like they would try to get very intimate. And again, because I was so deprived of connection, of all, like just like having people in my life. Brotherhood.
You missed the brotherhood, dude.
Exactly. Because of that deprivation, the moment I got anything, I just soaked it like a sponge. And that led to me being influenced very easily. And that's on me, right? As a man, you should never bend your knee to anyone, especially to someone that, you just met, for instance. But it's because of that, I got influenced very easily. And I'm not even blaming it on them. I take full responsibility at the end of the day. I should have known better. But it was because of that that led me down this spiral, this path of, being lost and kind of going down the wrong path, like I said, with, doing things that weren't the best. I did like some very bad things when it came to like stealing leads, taking away other people's potential closes and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah. So that's crazy, man. So do you really feel like having the wrong woman in your corner, in your ear, it was a woman, right?
Correct.
On the team. Okay. Let's keep it real, guys. It was a lady. It wasn't a dude. Okay. We keep it straight here. We keep it clean, but like you had this woman and she impacted you, right? And kind of led you straight. How do you feel like from firsthand experience, having the wrong woman can take a man off his path? Like how dangerous is it to be with the wrong woman?
I wouldn't, for the record, out of respect, I don't think it was entirely like her fault, like that she was in the wrong. Again, I take part responsibility, but in regards to, again, just not being compatible with someone, specifically a woman, I think it's very easy to lose sight of your goals and your vision, especially if you're spending a lot of time with them and that leads you astray from your main purpose. Because as a man, your top priority in life should be your purpose, your dream, your aspiration, and everything else is secondary.
Yep.
And I didn't follow that. Again, I started making women my purpose. And that led down the spiral of, again, me falling down this loophole of trying to please her, putting her on a pedestal. I had this perception in my mind where I was like, I'm so lucky to have her versus she's so lucky to have me. And again, that made me treat her like a celebrity. And what happens when you treat someone like a celebrity? They treat you like a fan. And that's what ended up happening. She lost respect for me. And then again, since I wasn't on my purpose, I just felt very depressed. I felt very lost, misguided, and anxious once again, just like I previously did back in high school.
Yeah, dude, that's powerful, man. So to kind of recap it, right? You, in like 2 minutes, right? Recap for me your entrepreneurial journey, right? From college, like dropout, to working on my sales team, to then getting fired, starting your own thing, and then we didn't even talk about the best part, which is you went and partnered with someone and you built, dude, what did you guys do? Like 60 to 100 grand a month?
I think our best month was 120.
$120,000, and he's a 20% partnership in the company. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. And you're how old?
19 right now.
19 years old, built a 7-figure company. Dude, first off, man, just want to acknowledge you, man. That is no joke.
Can't take all the credit, man. You taught me.
Thank you, man. What do you feel like were some of the key lessons you learned being on my sales team, being a part of my Bridging the Gap community that helped you during that time build that, have that right mindset?
Absolutely. Number one, always think of the client, the customer, the people, right? Be the people's person. I think especially at a young age, a lot of guys, a lot of people in general just focus on the money, the cash, but they don't really focus on what they're doing to make that money. And I mean, yeah, like you can do that and make a couple grand a year, a couple mil, but it's not as purposeful. You don't feel as fulfilled. And also it's like, if you're not helping people, if you're not truly impacting other people's lives in a positive manner, people will notice that. People will know if you're being genuine or not, right?
Yeah.
And of course that will lead down to another, like, you know, a bad path where it's like people start like, you know, bringing you down and stuff like that. But the number one thing that always stuck in my mind is, what can I do to help better that customer's life? What can I provide that I didn't have that will help excel their transformation when it came to specifically getting into sales? Because what I did was sales coaching.
Okay.
But 100% thinking of the customer every single time.
That's great, dude. So sales coaching, think about the customer. What else, right? Like, what else did you learn or take away from, you know, working on my sales team at the time?
I think the second biggest thing was just really about being able to be, not necessarily that you would say it, but it showed through your actions. Because I think actions is more powerful than words itself, but persistence. So when I remember, because like background, like whenever we joined, you know, Kino Body sales team, we would have a Kino Body email specifically for work. And you would be subscribed to everybody's calendar that's on the sales team. So I always saw Bridger's calendar and everyone else's calendar. Okay. And I always saw your calendar, man. It's quite a long list you got there.
Tell me about, what did you see on Bridger's calendar for those curious?
Yeah, man. Well, we got obviously sleep. We got morning routine. We got, move the needle time, which is like obviously when you're actually doing the most important tasks to move and propel your business forward.
Okay.
Gym time. I'm pretty sure that you had like a journaling time, meditation time, like a church time. Non-negotiable. I think it was like nighttime routine or bedtime, which I actually started incorporating into my own routine.
Excellent.
Big changer in terms of sleep.
Let's go.
But my point I'm trying to make is your calendar was always packed out. And for me, it was also very organized. It's very clean. I'm a clean freak. And it was just like it influenced me. It kind of made me want to like emulate the same thing. So because of that, it caused me to, again, fall down this path of like, I need to be persistent and I need to always be doing something 24/7. Now, of course, like you don't want to burn yourself out, but recovering is also doing something that's productive. Sleep is still productive. Going to the gym is still productive, but you need to know the fine balance between how to structure everything. Like you talked about with the 80-20 rule previously.
I love it, man. So we just started working together again, right? Now you're in my inner circle with Bridging the Gap. And I think it's super cool to see the growth I've seen in the last month, but I want to hear from you specifically for those watching, like what type of impact have you had in your life, being around me, surrounded by me, us doing our weekly calls, right? Coming and spending a weekend. We'll get into the weekend, but just talk about the coaching experience. What's your coaching experience been like with me? And what's the number one takeaway so far or biggest breakthrough?
The number one breakthrough I would definitely say is breaking addiction specifically. So I had a lot of bad addictions before joining. I never really fixed my binge eating disorder. I had a big porn addiction as well. There were a couple other ones like social media, for instance. But I don't think it was until that we really connected again and you really dive deep specifically into those problems and into like the reasons and psychology behind why I would use those as like, I guess you could say coping mechanisms, that I was actually able to break through with it. And especially the Brotherhood. I think the Brotherhood specifically has helped me tremendously because for me, specifically with porn, right? Like it was always hard for me to break the addiction. I hear all these people say, "Oh, bro, just like download like a block, like something to block the the app." But that's BS, pish posh, right? But I think it's being surrounded by the Brotherhood that allowed me to have a higher standard because now it's like I'm surrounded by you, I'm surrounded by Parsa, right? All these people, and it's like, well, all these guys are like, you know, improving themselves. Like, I would feel like ashamed of myself, like a disgrace, if like I went behind their back and like just start like playing with myself. I don't mean to get
with
lotion.
Yeah, whipping out the lotion. It's like, you're like, it's not a very masculine thing to do, right?
Absolutely.
Right, like not like shaming that, but like, it's not like a high status thing to do, right? It's like we want to work towards finding the right chick, right? Finding the right woman, finding the right babe, finding the right woman to wife up, right? So that's great, dude. I'm really proud of you, man, and I love to hear the transformation.
Absolutely.
So you've broken these addictions. How has that had an impact? Now that you're free of these addictions, have you noticed any improvements in your quality of life or mental health?
What's going on, guys? It's Bridger. Listen, a lot of you guys watching the podcast want to know how you guys can get a hold of me. Best way is to join my Bridge Builder Brotherhood and shoot me a DM on school. First link in the description. You've got exclusive content, monthly coaching calls with me, and I'm posting all the time in there. It's like our own little social media platform. First link in the description, completely for free. Let's get back to the podcast.
When it came to mental health, obviously, when you break addictions, you naturally will feel more happy and have a better mental health in general. Because, I mean, when you're watching porn, when you're eating junk food, you know you shouldn't be doing these things. And it's only after the pleasure is over, right? After you nutted, after like you have that last bite of like chocolate, where you start to like have those negative thoughts, right? And it's with those negative thoughts, you start to almost see yourself in like a lower tier of like human society, where you kind of almost think of yourself as like a lesser being. Because imagine like you have to play with yourself, knowing that there are other people out there who have like a real life like girlfriend, right? And they actually have that connection that you actually wanted to begin with. Like that's my whole point. Like all these modern addictions, it's just the fake version of what you truly wanted. You never wanted to watch porn. You wanted an actual girlfriend where you can pair bond with, mate, and have children with. You never wanted to play video games. You never wanted to level up in Call of Duty. You wanted to level up in real life, build status, build your social skill, build your reputation, make more money. And I think for me, that was like the biggest paradigm shift I had. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without you.
Let's go, dude. Dude, that makes me happy, man. I appreciate you sharing that. Guys, we do have a free Brotherhood, by the way, right? Because he said the Brotherhood was the number one thing that helped you break some of these addictions. I could not agree more. And that's why I put together the Bridge Builder Brotherhood, which is a great place to start. It's completely free. First link in the description, guys. I want you to check it out. I want you to join there. I want you to introduce yourself to the other guys, get connected with the monthly coaching calls that we do in there, access the exclusive content, and connect with the brothers. So getting back on track here, I want to talk about just this weekend. Because you got to come out and spend an entire weekend with me, right? This is the first time we met in person, right?
Yeah, it still feels surreal.
It feels surreal. Walk me through the experience. What's it been like so far?
Yeah, so side note, this is my first time traveling alone without any family or friends. And also my first time meeting someone that I met virtually in person as well, let alone someone that I admire and look up to. So the fact that was in the back of my mind the entire airplane trip, I was just like, so like excited, so stoked. Like the moment like I landed, blitz to the hotel. It was insane. And then I remember the first time we actually like locked eyes face to face. It was on your balcony. This guy's a G. So I get off the elevator. I'm opening the door. This guy is out on the balcony next to the pool, shirtless with his six-pack out, on a call for his sales offer. And I'm just like, my man.
Walking the walk, dude. What can I say, dude? Yeah. So we lock eyes, boom, we meet, and then, dude, we start talking. And what was the first impression meeting me versus online versus in person? Because a lot of people are a lot of jokesters, a lot of characters out there of like, you know, they create different personas online. They're totally different in person. Does my online content and persona match up with my in person? That's what the people want to know. 100%.
I actually feel like you're, how do I say this? You're more calm, or not more calm, you're more chill in person, I would say. And I mean that as a good thing. I mean, then again, it's like, it was on a one-on-one basis, which made it more intimate. But overall, I think, yeah, like everything that I envisioned you to be, that's who you were. And I, again, mean that's a good thing. Like, again, you're very successful, and I just look up to you a lot.
Thank you, man. What do you admire most about my accomplishments, me?
I mean, no matter what the odds are against you, you keep moving forward. And I think that's the most important thing. It's like being the underdog, right? Like, I know like you dealt with some very severe things growing up, as well as, you know, just the circumstances you were in. But like, for instance, right, you talked a lot about how you were able to meet Greg and, you know, how you were able to make that to happen. And you were just persistent on that, right? It's like, boom, you didn't have a passport. No problem. Within like a couple weeks time, you got it right before the flight. You know, all these stories about like, you know, planning out full on like sales pitches for him and then him turning you down, but you continuously, again, persisting with plan after plan until he finally agreed. Even for me, I don't know if I can do that.
Dude, you can definitely do it.
At the end of the day, you are the 5 people that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So
exactly.
I mean, one of them, if I can only choose like one out of the 5, you would probably be one of them. And I mean, you are one of them.
Dude, 100%, dude. Yeah, that's why I love spending time with people in person, guys. If you're watching this right now and you're like, man, like I want to experience the same breakthrough. I want to come spend some time with Bridger in person. We do workshops, boot camps all the time. You could find a link in the description to come spend a weekend with me and meet some of the other guys in person.
Yeah, so, this guy goes hard in all areas of life.
Dude, the B5, man. What are the B5? What's B5? How would you describe the B5 lifestyle based on how I live it, and what are they?
Yeah, so first off, what is the B5? So in order, it all starts with the belief, right? Mindset. If you don't have that in place, if your mental health is shit, you ain't getting anything done. Second is body, right? Building a strong, capable physique, one that's admirable and you can actually protect, your loved ones with, right? No one will mess with you, essentially. The third is business, right? Your career path, your business, your pride and joy. The fourth thing is brotherhood, the people you surround yourself with. The people you call your brothers, your friends, and the people that you bond with. And then lastly, after you have all four of those dialed in, the babe, right? The
right?
girl of your dreams, the one that you go back home to, the one you're doing all of this for.
Yep, with. You're doing it with, a little bit for too, right? For me, right, I think that you definitely fight for family. For me, I fight more for my God. Right, my God, dude, is greater, dude, than everything else on the planet, right? Because He will never let me down. He will never leave me nor forsake me, and so like He will always provide, right? The story of Job. You ever heard the story of Job?
I don't think I have. No,
bro, it's a powerful story. You got to read it. For those of you guys watching at home, you should definitely read it too. But to recap it, Job was a man that was a follower of God, and he was blessed. And the devil came to God and said, your follower over here, your worshiper of you take away, you've blessed him so much. He's got all these houses and he's got all these sheep and this farm and all these people and these what do they call them? Not slaves, but like the servants. All these servants. Yeah. You take all that away from him, he'll curse your name. And then Satan said, let me take all this away from him, God, and then watch how he curses you. And God says, let it be, right? He lets it happen, right? God is in control of everything. Satan, the adversary, cannot do anything in your life unless God permits it. So if it happens, if something tragic happens in your life, God's letting that happen. And guess what happened?
What happened?
Satan kills everything in his life. He makes him super sick. He's got literally just all kinds of illnesses. I think they were rashes or something.
Yeah.
Kills his wife, kills his family, kills his kids. It takes away his whole thing. Everything goes to shit. And then guess what? Job did not turn his back on God. Instead, he called out to God. He said, God, why would you turn your back on me like this? He called out. He cried out to the Lord. It's biblical to cry out to the Lord. He cries out to the Lord. And he says, God, oh God, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah.
And he says, have I not given my life for you? Please, God, restore. I know he had belief.
Yeah.
He had belief. He didn't lose the belief. It's the number one thing. And guess what he does? He restores everything they had times 10.
Really?
Times 10.
All right, congratulations. If you made it to the end of the video, you're a 1%er. So do me a favor, do a couple things for me. Number one, share this with someone that you feel like will get tremendous value from this video. And then number two, we've got content that'll help you level up and bridge the gap in multiple areas of life. Your belief systems, your mindset, your body, your business, your brotherhood, your babe. So all you got to do is hit the link right here to watch my most recent video on how to bridge the gap with your belief system, with your body, with your business, with your brotherhood, and help you find a babe. See you guys in the next video.